meet you where you been. I could show you incredible things. Magic, madness, heaven.
Welcome into Real Talk Day. I'm Michael Liptak here with Cindy McIntyre. Last week in East Village, New York, part of a neighborhood in New York City, there was a gas explosion that leveled 3 buildings, injured 25 people, and killed 1. And what's been popping up recently is a lot of people, whether it's local people from New York City or tourists, they're going to the site itself and they're taking a selfie with the background behind them. A lot of neighbors and people who lived in that area are really annoyed with it, and I'm going to ask Cindy what she thinks about this incident and just selfies in general. Do you think that we're getting so obsessed with pictures and just doing this selfie crap that we're forgetting the seriousness of some of these issues? I think one of the stories I read, they showed a lot of incidences where people were taking selfies and happy in some of these serious moments, like in Poland, a woman took a selfie where some of the concentration camps were, and it just seems like it's getting a little bit out of hand. What do you make about this one individually and just selfies in general?
I think that there are pros and cons. I think that there's certain circumstances, whereas back when in the day we didn't have the resources to be able to, acknowledge certain things and take a photograph of a certain instance. And so I think, yes, regardless of the fact that, it was a selfie, I think that there's certain people that will appreciate that, because there will be photos of certain parts of the explosion and certain time frames of it. And so I think, it's not as appropriate as it should be. They don't have to necessarily be in the photo, but I think there's certain people that might find some sort of appreciation for the people taking the photos and taking a selfie. Like you had said, there's a lot of people that go to different national historic sites or go to, the concentration camps that leave a staple of history. And I think that there's certain inappropriateness about what they're doing, and I don't think people think of it, because I think that it's a trend, and it's a trend in taking a photo. And I don't think people think through that, it's bad or good. They just want to be in the moment. They want to be in the moment within their memory. And so there's always, and people may think that that's wrong of me to say that, but that's how the minds of different people think, and we can't change the way that they evaluate a certain circumstance, or just at the moment where they're being able to travel and they're being able to go to these different sites and and reflect on them. And so they don't think of it as, oh, this is being disrespectful, I'm taking a selfie and I'm in front of it. They're thinking of it as, well, I have something to show forth that I was there if somebody wasn't with me or somebody wasn't able to take a picture with me.
I think it goes to the point that I think a lot of people, they get so caught up in their own selves that they forget what's going around them. I think our generation in general, we're so focused on with what's going on social media and trying to get on social media that I think this is what's kind of happening with selfies and taking them in such serious places, whether it's the concentration camp area in Poland or this gas explosion in the East Village of New York. So I think it just goes to that our generation, we need to start understanding that there's always a time where you can kind of make light of a situation, but when it's barely a week later, you're going over there to where there's still the buildings right there in rubble, and you're making light of it. That's not something you should do. You should understand that there's a lot of people's lives that were affected by that, and you're making light about that. It is disrespectful to them, to the person that died, and to the 25 that were injured.
Well, and there's something that you had said there. In this new generation, they don't understand a lot of things, and education does a lot for us. And I think that once they're educated and once people are able to tell them this and that, and they're able to kind of change their perspective on different things, they'll see that something that they did was wrong. And we can even look back and say, there's certain things that we did that weren't right, that were disrespectful, but we, looking back, we could have taken it back. But we wouldn't necessarily want to take it back because we learned something from it. So maybe these people that were taking selfies and that, showed some sort of disrespect for, other families that had injured people, or that one family that had lost a loved one, maybe they'll look back at that and say, I didn't mean to do that at that point in time. But people's minds, we think so quick. We think like a microwave. We want things instantaneously, and we can simply turn around a camera and click the screen and have a photo like that.
I understand when you go to some of these historic sites or just incidences like this in the East Village where you want to go see for yourself in person what happened here, just to kind of get a better perspective on it. And if you want to take a picture, that's fine. I think you can show people what you're seeing. Some people that can't actually see it, that's a good thing. But when you're, like, say you're making humor out of it, trying to put yourself in it, like acting like a goofball, I think that's where you have to kind of step back and realize that it's not the right time.
Well, and just like some of the photos like Kim Kardashian and some of those people that, take photos that really have no relevance to have our attention, maybe we need to look at those the same way. A little bit of a different circumstances, but let's not put a highlight on them. So if we need to not show these people that this is right, then let's not put highlight on it. Let's not make something big of it, just like we would or wouldn't with a celebrity or something that was, some sort of just like a photo, like a nude photo. If we don't want to highlight that and we don't want them to think that, oh, this is popular, let's not make any note of it. And let's do that with the things that people are doing that other people find disrespectful.
And if you'd like to join the conversation, follow us on our Facebook page. Let us know what you think about the growing trend in selfies at historical sites that are inappropriate. Do you think that there's nothing wrong with it, or do you think that it is getting out of hand? Let us know what you think and we'll get back to you.
Or it's gonna go down.